Princess of Wales. Empathy. Video analysis. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor, explaining to you all things narcissist and the narcissist dynamic. As you know from my many videos, that the preferred target, the preferred victim of my kind is the empath. Why? Well, essentially you cater to the prime aims better than anybody else. You are easiest to ensnare and keep ensnared. You tend to have a much better fuel provision. Character traits and residual benefits. You could be outgunned by other classifications of people, including other narcissists, but nevertheless, we'll invariably select somebody that caters to those needs alongside, of course, the more important control and fuel. Empaths are our favourite victims. It's a symbiotic relationship. We're drawn to you because of what you do for us, and you are drawn to us as a consequence of your own addiction to narcissists. See other material where I explain what that is and how that is all linked to your emotional thinking. With the empath, it's an individual that has a wide range of emotional empathy for other people and is unconsciously guided by that emotional empathy in their interactions and dealings with other people. The empath has considerable empathic traits, which always outrank their narcissistic traits. Sometimes the empath would have, for example, moderately high empathic traits and weak narcissistic traits, or may have very strong empathic traits alongside strong narcissistic traits. The composition can vary, but the point is this, that invariably, or rather it's always the case, that the empathic traits will outrank those narcissistic traits. The Princess of Wales is an empath, so she has emotional empathy for a wide range of people. It doesn't mean that she's a saint. She has both empathic and narcissistic traits. And knowing, as a consequence of the analysis of her behaviours, that she's categorised as an empath, we're then able to interpret her behaviours through that prism of her emotional empathy, by virtue of being an empath, to explain why she behaves as she does, and also to provide a contrast with the behaviours of a narcissist in a similar situation. To aid your understanding, I'm going to play you a short piece of video footage, 2 or 3 times, which you can watch, digest, form your own views about, and then I'll break it down for you. Here it comes.
Open and forthcoming are you okay? Open and forthcoming are you okay? Open and forthcoming are you okay? Are women.
You've now seen the footage. So the Princess of Wales is at a round table meeting in an informal setting that is taking place with what looks like possibly parents and children, or at least some formal carers there. There's somebody wearing a uniform also. And she's involved in explaining something as she sits there at the table, and a little child interrupts her with a cough. Now, were she a narcissist, then she could express irritation at being interrupted by this cough. The child naturally can't help coughing, but that's irrelevant to the narcissist. The narcissist was in full flow, talking about something. How dare you, small child, steal my thunder and interrupt by coughing, you pesky little crotch goblin. And a lesser narcissist may well turn and say, can't you get that child to shut up, or shoot the child a death stare, because there's no facade. A mid-range narcissist, of course, operates a facade, and in all likelihood would give a rictus smile towards the coughing baby, make false inquiry as to, oh, are they okay, and then carry on. Internally, the narcissism would be thinking, annoying little crotch goblin, rug rat, getting in the way. But immediately the facade says, can't go over and insult the mother and the child, have to maintain facade, other people in the room, other secondary or tertiary sources we have to keep control over. Therefore, in the circumstances, you can't lash out with heated fury, or make a snarky remark, or even go over and slap the child on the back and saying, "Stop coughing." The facade would prevent that happening. Some narcissists would just carry on without any due regard, continuing to talk, engaging in their monologue. Some would express false compassion towards the child by saying, "Oh, are you okay?" But we'd know, because that person is a narcissist, that apparent concern, of course, is just being generated for the purpose of the facade and the assertion of control over the recipient, direct and indirect, over everybody else that's in the room. Here, of course, we know that the Princess of Wales, as an empath, when that child coughs, we see her automatic and instinctive response to it. There's no hesitation in her actions. There's no stuttering response, but rather there is an immediate and natural response where she looks towards the child as they cough, and you can see immediately her eyes are drawn straight to the child. There's no rolling of the eyes, there's no dead-eyed response, there's no irritation expressed. She immediately looks, smiles, and engages with the child, and then asks, "Are you okay?" And everybody laughs. And the camera pans across, and we see the child there, I think a little boy, sat with mother or a carer. But that exhibits the Princess of Wales' emotional empathy. Her emotional empathy doesn't say to her, "Oh, that child is coughing, you better make yourself look good and say something nice." She just does it. She's automatically guided by her empathic trait of caring and compassion to inquire as to, "Are you okay?" and behave in a pleasant way towards the child. She doesn't have to think about it. The narcissism doesn't exist with the Princess of Wales, of course, but if it did, it would either respond in a dismissive way, narcissist with heated fury and has no facade, or carry on by ignoring and not reacting to it because they're obsessed with themselves, or doling out a sickly sweet syrupy response by way of facade management. But there would be a slight delay between the child coughing and the response coming, because the narcissist would have to select, see the video, the imitation game, the appropriate response. Here, there is no delay, because what Catherine does is entirely natural and is demonstrative of the emotional empathy that she has. This is a short but excellent example of the way that her instinctive emotional empathy guides her behaviours, that demonstrates compassion and caring, and does so in a way which happens automatically. There's no facade being involved. This is the way that she naturally behaves, and provides us with a useful example to contrast with that of the behaviour of a narcissist. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for watching.